Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy Luke here for another PGA Showdown live stream. What we're going to do is we're going to go through all of our picks for tomorrow. We'll start with some weather, talk about whether that'll have an impact on play, and finish it up, of course, with our plays. So, going to start it off here with the weather. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here real quick. Hop it over to the weather. And this is going to be for tomorrow morning. So they're going to be teeing off right around 7 a.m. And frankly, the weather today looks very similar to what we saw. The weather tomorrow looks very similar to what we saw today, starting off with relatively benign conditions, right around 3 to 4 miles an hour of wind. Not much of a chance of rain throughout the day. You can see it's there in like the 10-20% mark at certain points. So if it drizzles at some point, I'm not going to be surprised, but that shouldn't affect play whatsoever. Now down here towards 4 or 5 p.m. when they're finishing up, you can see there's right around 7 miles an hour of wind. I would assume gusts right around 10, 12 miles an hour, which these players are extremely accustomed to. I'm not expecting it to play much different than it did today. You saw an average score right around 1.8 strokes under par. Tomorrow, I'm expecting the same thing. In terms of any type of a morning-afternoon wave split, this morning we saw a scoring average right around 2.2 under par. In the afternoon, it was right around 1.6. So it was a little bit easier in the morning. Again, partially due to the difference in the strength of the wind, also due to the softness of the greens. Obviously, because of a lot of the moisture in the air, this is in a Caribbean climate. In the mornings, you're going to be dealing with a much softer golf course than you are in the afternoon. The sun's going to bake it out. Same thing with the wind. So pretty much in general, same conditions for tomorrow as we saw today. So if you guys didn't see my previews from earlier on the week, what I'm really targeting here are guys that are good on approach. The difference, what we saw round one that maybe takes a little bit of consideration is that some of the bombers played well here. They tightened up some of the fairways, and a lot of the guys like Matthew Wolff specifically took driver off of us almost every single tee. His average driving distance was 318 yards, which you can't do that with a 3-wood, especially at a course like this that's at sea level. So for Matthew Wolff, I mean, it's just interesting to look at that distance there. Because of those tight fairways, there's not as much of a reward to lay back. So distance is something I wasn't considering at the beginning of the week, but has crept itself into my modeling. But first and foremost, it is that shots gained approach play. This is a second shot golf course, and you're going to see the ball striker succeed here. Just the one caveat, the little difference that we have now is that distance is important here just because of the fairways and how they've been tightened up. Another thing we're looking at is birdie or better percentage. Obviously, with these easy conditions, we want guys that can go and take it low. And in terms of a cut, just to talk about some of the goals for these players, you're looking at either a 5, maybe a 4 under par cut if it gets really tough in the afternoon. I expect either a 5 or a 6 under 6 under cut line. So I expect it to be relatively good scoring conditions. So if you have somebody that's at even par or just 1 under par, they're going to have to be aggressive, which is something we're going to want to target when we're looking at players in our pool over here. So starting at the top, you can see most of the guys at the top of the board had good days yesterday. There's some of them that are going to be close to the cut line that are going to have to play well tomorrow, but not anybody that's playing from super far behind the 8 ball. The one guy you could say would be Terrell Hatton. He's somebody who's at just 1 under par. He's going to have to be aggressive tomorrow, go out there, shoot 4 or 5 under par. So I don't hate going to him in Showdown. He's somebody who clearly has the pedigree to take this place low. It wasn't somebody I was targeting in DFS. It was a little bit more popular than I expected. Also coming in with a little bit of shoddy approach numbers, but he's a world-class player, somebody who could turn it around at least for 1 round at a time. For Showdown, I like going to him tomorrow. Somebody who I don't really like going to as much is Aaron Wise. If we don't have shots gained numbers, but we do have total number of putts numbers, and Aaron Wise had just 23 putts today, which is completely unheard of for him. I mean, just went out there and was making everything today. So for me, I don't expect that to continue tomorrow. Went out and shot 8 under par. Because he's in second place, also doesn't have to be uber aggressive. So I won't be playing him in Showdown at least. It was obviously a very good play there for round 1 and for the 4-round tournament. Up here at the top, Justin Thomas had an amazing back 9. He's somebody who changed up his equipment last time out at the CJ Cup. Using those same prototype irons this time around and started off horribly. He shot 3 over on his front 9, shot 6 under on the last 7 holes. Had 5 birdies in a row at one point, clearly found something. So in terms of Showdown, I like going to him. Obviously, JT's going to be aggressive. That's the only thing he knows what to do. One of the best players in the world in terms of birdie or better percentage. Essentially fits the golf course perfectly. I mean, if driving distance is going to be a little bit more important, which bear it out in round one, especially with guys at the top like Aaron Wise, Matthew Wolff, and whatnot, he's going to be an even better course fit. That doesn't hurt him. It actually makes him an even better play. A couple guys that are way behind the 8 ball. I like going to Will Zalatoris here. He couldn't make any putts today. He had 29 putts on the day, which is horrible. I mean, he even stuffed it close on quite a few holes. Was able to make 5 birdies, but still shot even par. I like going there. He's clearly on top of his ball striking. I'm a little bit more worried about Brooks Koepka. Somebody I took a chance on in GPPs this week because he was single-digit owned. Obviously, if he has that motivation there, it's a very good course fit. I just question that motivation at this point. He went out there, was very lackluster today. And Koepka is typically somebody who, if he doesn't have it in the first round, tends to go out and miss a cut. And I don't know if it's on purpose. I don't know if it's just that he disengages. But the numbers bear that out as well. It's not just a narrative at this point. If we take a look at this 9K range here, a lot of these guys are priced down from where they were going into round one. A few exceptions. Russell Henley is a little bit more expensive than he was. Same thing with Joaquin Niemann. I think both are fairly priced. Both are very good course fits here, immaculate ball strikers. Patrick Reed had a horrendous end to his round. I'm not going to be going there. That is a huge red flag for me. Taylor Gooch. So somebody I want to talk about. He's been the talk of the tour for the last 2 months. Almost every instructor I've just heard saying so many nice things about his swing. I've heard other players say that it's just beautiful. He has the archetypical swing. And anytime someone starts to get that kind of buzz behind them, I think they're tuned to go and break out. So Taylor Gooch was somebody I was massive on going into this week. Tends to play well at the shorter golf courses because he doesn't have that much distance off the tee, but is very good on approach, very good in terms of high birdie or better percentage. So I like going back to him there. Obviously had a very good round today. And anytime he's starting to get that kind of buzz behind him, you want to be targeting those guys early and often. Will Zalatoris had that same kind of buzz when he was first coming out from the Korn Ferry Tour. Mito Pereira obviously has that same kind of buzz around him right now. But thinking back to some of the other people, people like Matthew Wolff had that kind of buzz, Victor Hovland, Colin Morikawa, Sam Burns, right? Just a few months ago, I think he's a prime example. Somebody who just he's going to be the future of the sport, essentially. He's going to be a top 25 player someday. Taylor Gooch just has a beautiful swing. I'm extremely bullish on him going into the future and for Showdown tomorrow. Moving on, though, getting on to some of these guys in this mid-tier range. First and foremost, it starts to get a little bit ugly here, to be quite honest with you. This is not really a dead range, I wouldn't say, but not necessarily my favorite plays on the slate by any means. You can go to Ricky Fowler, hit a very good day. It's seemingly a good course fit for him. I just think he's going to be popular because he's so cheap, right? He was a lot more expensive going into this week. So at $8,000, I do think there's going to be a lot of ownership there. So depends on what kind of contest you're playing. If you're in cash, go for it. If you're in a GPP, I think you need to at least consider that. Justin Rose is not my favorite play this week. People are on him just because he's used to these paspalum greens, apparently practices at a course that has paspalum. My home course is paspalum. I'll just say, that helps, right? But we can't quantify how much that's going to help. I'd probably give it maybe a shot and a half type of bias. And for Justin Rose, he's just not the type of player that's going to be in contention aside from that. He gives him a little bit of a boost, but not very good on approach. He seemingly lost that. He hasn't been the same approach player for at least a year now. Off the tee isn't accurate, right? He's not one of the longer players on tour, but he's also not accurate. So it's not really the kind of guy that I'm looking for at this golf course. He gets a lot of his shots gained with his putting. And at this course, typically the players that play the best are guys that lose strokes putting, which obviously means that they're gaining them elsewhere. That's why it's not the fact that they're bad at putting that makes them do well here. It's just that approach plays a little bit more important here. Same thing with birdie or better percentage. Just not a good course fit. Emiliano Grillo is the complete opposite of that. He's the perfect course fit. Going to be chalk, but almost completely well warranted. The guy had 8 birdies today. It was 1 eagle, 6 birdies. Had 4 or 5 bogeys. Just a horrible round in terms of trying to keep it together, but goes out there and scores. If you played him today for Showdown, he was in the optimal lineup. So that should tell you everything you need to know. The guy loves this golf course. He's made the cut every time he's come here. Is a great course fit. Just checks all the boxes. Kevin Streelman had a very average day. He was very on top of his ball striking. Just couldn't make a putt. I like going to those guys in Showdown in hopes that they find the hot putter. Chris Kirk made first iron shot of the day, first shot of the day, period, goes and holes it out on hole one. Don't expect that to happen again. He had one of those stretches of golf that everyone wishes they have, and they talk about the rest of their lives. He went, I believe, hole in one, birdie, par, eagle to start. So yeah, he's not going to replicate that. As cool of a story as that is. Now that we start to get to this range here, this is the sweet spot for Showdown, in my opinion. What I'm going to be trying to do, I'm going to go ahead and show you the kind of lineup construction here as we can. I'm going to try and fit in at least one or two of these guys up top. So obviously we talked about Justin Thomas, really like him there. We'll take Terrell Hatton and we'll sneak in another guy up top. Let's go with Will Zalatoris. So we'll make this a true studs and duds type lineup, because this range right here from $7,300 down to, let's say, $6,600, this is what I call the sweet spot for Showdown, because obviously placement points aren't involved when we're dealing with Showdown. We're looking for guys that have ceiling performances that can go out there, get you 6 or 7 birdies, and even if they sprinkle in some bogeys, that's not going to kill you. It's not going to have any impact on placement points because they don't exist. So these tend to be the players that give you the best point per dollar return, because not only are they cheap enough where you can go and take some of those studs that you have a little bit more confidence to go out there, shoot 6, 7 under par. You're not dealing with these guys down here in, the $65,000 to $6,000 range that are just bad players. I don't want to, go into too much detail. Obviously, just nowhere near the same quality of play. So let's talk about some of the guys I will be leaning on here. Joel Damon had a very good day one. It's hard to back up a 6 under day with another 6 under day, but at $7,300, he's a good price tag there. He's a great course fit. He won for the first time at the Corrales Putacania that also has Pass Palm. It's also a seaside course with a very similar look. Had a very good day one, right? So he checks all the boxes there. Brendan Todd he can go to. He's won this damn golf tournament. He's been good at short golf courses. Checks that box. Coming in with good form. Checks that box. Yeah, he's a good price there. I like going there. Ches Reavie, same thing. Good course fit. Had a very good day one. You can go back there. Henrik Stenson was much better today than I expected. He had a few bogeys down the stretch that really kind of threw his round out of sorts. But at $7,100, you can go there. He's a very good course fit. He's very accurate off the tee. He's going to keep himself in play. And because it's a short golf course, he's able to take advantage of the short holes. He's able to have the high birdie or better percentage here. Let's keep going down. Let's talk about a few other guys that are a little bit cheaper here. You could go to Matt Kutcher. It's a good course fit. $6,900. He is always a little bit volatile in terms of birdies. He's going to make his fair share of bogeys, especially at these short golf courses, but he's going to be aggressive with that iron play, which you like. Let's see. Molinari, he started off with 5 birdies in a row. So he parred number 1 and then birdied 5 straight holes and then finished at 1 over par. He's going to have to go shoot 6 under par tomorrow. But the fact that he made 6 birdies today should be encouraging. I'd be willing to go there. So Keith Mitchell, this may be the best play on the slate. I have a very good read on Keith Mitchell. If you guys have been following the channel, almost every time I talk about him, the guy goes out there and has an electric round. If distance is going to play a factor in our analysis for tomorrow, again, Matthew Wolff had a very good day. Same thing with Aaron Wise. My theory behind it, if you guys are just tuning in now, they narrowed a lot of these fairways. They made them a lot harder to hit. They also let the rough grow a little bit more than usual. And while it's still an easy golf course, it rewards distance. These guys are being a little bit more aggressive off the tee. They're not dealing with highway size, I-95 sized fairways out there. They're dealing with ones that look like a normal golf course would. They've kind of grown them in. This is a resort course, but they've obviously made some changes for this iteration of the event. So distance, if that's going to be important, Keith Mitchell could be in a really good spot there. He's high birdie or better percentage, extremely good with his irons. He's shown a lot of form of late as well. And he shot 3 under. That was surprising. I didn't play him in my player pool. I didn't expect him to go out and have a very good day. But to see him do that makes him a lot more interesting to me. And it's not like he went and shot 6 or 7 under par. He could very well improve on that 3 under par mark. It's not going to have any psychological effect on him. Let's see. There might be a few flyers down here we might be willing to go to. Let's go ahead and check. Sung Kang is good with his iron play. He can go there. He has a 7 under round in him, pretty much like once every 3 events, that kind of thing. So if you catch that, you'll be happy tomorrow. Steward. So if you guys look at a lot of the course fits for this week, Steward's going to be popping off the board. He's a top 10 course fit here. So $6,400, I think he's a relatively interesting pick. He's in contention still, had a decent round today. We'll need to go out there tomorrow and at least shoot under par. Denny McCarthy is a very interesting punt play. $6,300. He's a good course fit. He's short. He's good on approach. He gets it done with the putter, though. Obviously, his birdie or better percentage comes from the putting, but at least he has that birdie or better percentage. You know, I'd rather it be coming from the approach play, but you can't be too picky with some of these guys down low. Just kind of got to take what we got. John Huh made a hole-in-one today. That's why he shot 5 under. Good for him, but I won't be going there. Sepp Straka, so he's a very interesting pick down here. He had a very good day. He's also a good course fit. He's only $6,100. I don't get that, so he'll be a play for tomorrow. That's interesting. I do expect him to be a little bit chalky, just because that's a clear misprice there. And yeah, that's about it, guys. So appreciate anybody who stopped by for the stream. If you guys are watching this on replay, make sure you guys leave a like on here. If you guys have any questions or anyone you want me to go into, you guys can leave a comment. I'll get to that when I see it. But until next time, we're going to do a live stream tomorrow at the same time. We'll also do one on Saturday night as well. It'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern time, covering the slates for Saturday and Sunday. So see ya and good luck for tomorrow.